Moshi Moshi. Hello and welcome to my podcast within 5 minutes. This is your host Harsh Patel wishing you a beautiful day. Let's say I'm trying to withdraw money from the ATM. I look back and I see 10 people waiting in the queue behind me. Now I get a little anxious. I'm unable to withdraw the money and everybody's glancing at me with restlessness. Finally, the person behind me walks up to me and asks me to step aside as I've been holding the ATM for way too long. How do you think I responded in a situation like this? I took it personally and started defending myself. Or let's say you invite a friend for a sleepover at your place, but she says, I got caught up with some work and I won't be able to come. But then you see a photo of her on social media having dinner with other friends on the same night. Or imagine you're a photographer and you put all your effort and hard work into clicking good candid photos for your client. But she doesn't like some of your photos and asks you to edit some of them based on her opinion. Most of us would take these situations personally. We'd feel offended and betrayed by the other person. We'd feel like it's their fault that we're in the state of panic. But the part of us that's speaking here is our ego. It's our ego that wants everyone to consider us. It doesn't want us to be criticized, but rather wants us to be acknowledged that we're always right. Dealing with our ego is exhausting. It would be much easier if we could stop taking things so personally. We could invest more of our energy into positive things and not dwell on the things that are eating away a piece of our peace. But the question is, how do we do that? As Frederick Imbo says in his TED Talk, the first strategy is to realize that it's not about you. When you take things personally, you're convinced that it is about you. When my parents forced me to wake up early, I would give myself up to anger and scream, "Why can't you just let me sleep a little longer? I hate you." But do you think my parents took that personally? Probably not. Because they know that I'm angry because I want to sleep a little more. That's all. Whenever you start to take things personally, look at the other person's intention. Try shifting the focus from me to we. If I try to understand the other person's intention, I would be making space for understanding rather than irritation. It takes a lot of effort to realize, hold on, I do not understand why they behaved the way they did. Maybe it wasn't about me. But sometimes it's not that simple. That's when we use the second strategy that Frederick suggests, which is to realize that it is about me. When the person behind you in the ATM walked up to you and asked you to step aside, imagine you took the time to think for a moment whether you had really held everyone in the queue for the last 10 minutes. Because when you do, you might realize that you were at fault. I know it could be an uncomfortable realization, but in such situations, you need to empathize with yourself and say, it's okay to not be right all the time. At other times, it would make sense for you to speak up. When your client doesn't like the photos, you tell her that you spent the last 2 days editing the photos and it feels like she's being very inconsiderate. By opening up and stating how you feel, you increase the chance that they understand and take your situation into account. Another strategy is to break out of the habit to worry about what others think about you. Most often, people are looking for approval from the other person. We have been conditioned from birth to think so. But not everyone will like you, so if you want to stop taking things personally, you need to accept that you can't influence how others will think about you. As a final strategy, I can't stress enough the importance of getting out of your own head. Every time we are criticized about something, we blow it out of proportion by repeating it in our heads. We project our insecurities into that statement and take it personally. It's possible that your insecurity about your photography skills is projected into the client's statement, and you feel like she's saying that you're not skilled enough to be a professional photographer. This interpretation is quite dangerous as you're giving life to your own fears. Taking things personally takes a toll on your happiness and peace of mind. Sometimes it's better to turn a blind eye and shrug it off. And even if you're slightly intimidated, ask yourself, How personal can this actually be? I hope this got you thinking. I hope you're having a blessed week and wishing you the very best. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye, take care, and ciao.